This is one of my absolute favorite tastes, and I know a lot of people eat it raw. There's just so many ways to enjoy chard. Guten Yardening, everybody! It's the middle of October here in Zone 5, Wisconsin, and I am standing behind two of our GreenStalk vertical gardens where we're still producing some amazing food even up to this point here, again, in Zone 5. So today I'm going to give you a little update to show you just how quickly and how well they're developing, and I'm going to show you something really awesome sent to us by one of our community members. Before I get into the content of this video, you should know we are a GreenStalk Garden affiliate, and there is a coupon for $10 off your future order in the description down below. Now, just about a month ago, we did our first ever GreenStalk vertical garden potato harvest. We had some red, white, and blue potatoes growing in our standard GreenStalk vertical garden, and the potatoes that came out of that harvest were absolutely beautiful. Now, if you haven't checked out that video, you really should, because I think it shows some of the limits that you can stretch when growing in a GreenStalk vertical garden. Well, about 5 minutes after we finished that harvest, we had plants ready to go, and they went into this garden, these fall plants. And today, well, here is our update to show you how amazing they are looking. We have our kale here at the bottom, and we planted multiple varieties. This is our lacinato kale. This is our green curly kale. We have purple kale in here as well. And all around those bottom two tiers, we have this amazing looking kale growing. This kale is vibrant, it's full of life, and it's only been growing in here for about a month. And take a look at that overall development that we're seeing. And right up above that, we move into our chards. Now, Swiss chard is one of my favorite fall plants. It's one of my favorite greens just in general. Now, as somebody who was raised on a farm for the first few years of my life anyway, I learned very quickly what the smell of hay was like. And the first time I tried chard was when my aunt prepared it for me by steaming it on the stovetop. And I thought that smell was so familiar. The smell was that of what I remembered from throwing hay bales up into the barn even as a little kid. Well, fortunately, this doesn't taste anything like hay, even though the smell might be there. This is one of my absolute favorite tastes, and I know a lot of people eat it raw. There's just so many ways to enjoy chard. And on top of that, take a look at these stunning colors. The stems are always so vibrant. We actually did this alternating planting here. So we have our yellow, we have our purple looking chard here on the stems, and then we go back to our green, and it repeats that cycle. We have our white chard here on this one. And so we've got this amazing color happening right now. Kind of feels like I'm taking a selfie. Look at the color, the vibrance, the size of these chard leaves. A month into the growing process since we transplanted these over. And we fed these a couple of times since transplant, but one thing you should notice is that the entire height of this vertical garden is looking fantastic. The color is popping. The freshness is right there. And remember, when we're watering these, we're watering them right here at the top, and it flows down through all 5 layers. And where we have this situated gets sun on both sides throughout the day, though not an overwhelming amount. One thing to remember about these crops is they are fantastic cool weather vegetables. And so we can expect, because temperatures have been fabulous for us, we can expect these to continue to grow and develop for the next couple of weeks at the very least. And directly beside that original 5-tier GreenStalk vertical garden, we have a 7-tier leaf system. This is the one where the tiers are 7 inches in depth instead of 10 inches. And we've been growing our strawberries in there since we transplanted them about 2 months ago. Now, maybe this doesn't impress you all that much, but for me, to see October strawberries just ripening right now, and there were 15 or 20 on here just last week before, well, we came out and we had to take care of eating them, because of course delicious strawberries never go out of season for us. But I will take fresh, ripening strawberries in Zone 5, Wisconsin in the middle of October any month of the year for sure. And depending on how long the temperatures remain the way they are, which is very mild, and we're still getting in the 70s during the daytime, well, that will determine just how much longer we can expect these strawberries to continue to develop, to continue to come in, to continue to ripen just like they are right now. And one of the other things we've seen an awful lot of right now are these little babies that are coming out here, these little runners. And one of the things I talked about in a recent video was we would be putting these back into other bins, just giving them a little bit of soil to cover them up on top. But take a look at this. This one already has roots. And these go, look at this, this is a double. This can go up into these upper tiers here. So whereas we may have a few plants that are dying off, which is not surprising at all this time of year. Right, this is far more surprising in my opinion. But where we have a few plants that may be dying off, this is going to be a refillable system. We can basically take the runners, put them up, and we'll keep this one going for hopefully years to come. And if we're going to get production this long into the season every year, well, this is going to be one of my favorite setups for sure. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you in this video, which I think is absolutely awesome, isn't even our own GreenStalk vertical garden. A couple of months ago, when we hit 2,000 community members, we offered up the opportunity for one person to win their very own brand new GreenStalk vertical garden. And we reached out to the individual who won that garden to ask if they would be kind enough to go ahead and share with us what they're doing or what they're growing in their vertical garden. And they were kind enough to send us footage of the original planting and a few updates along the way so we could show you just how their garden has been progressing over the last month plus. Now, one of the things I love so much about looking at this footage is when we initially contacted the winner and they talked about their excitement over winning this GreenStalk, we knew for a fact that they were going to get into planting as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what they did. You can see the process here as it starts to develop. You can see the choices of the vegetables. One of the things we love about vertical gardening is that there's a lot of options out there. And in the system that we sent this person, they had the opportunity to plant 30 different vegetables if they wanted to, and they made some great choices. And because they sent us footage from several points along the way, we've been able to enjoy watching their garden develop right along with ours. So it's a great opportunity for us to see even more variety being planted in these GreenStalk vertical gardens and for us to get some ideas of our own from what they're doing. Well, we definitely want to wish that person so much luck as they continue to grow in their GreenStalk. Now, they're in growing zone 6, which means they should have, hopefully, a couple of weeks more warmer weather even than what we have. Now, in terms of continuing our growing after the cold weather really sets in, well, we have some definite plans for that because we're going to bring some of our GreenStalks indoors and we're going to be growing vertically over winter in these. And one of the things I'm really excited to do is to try to stretch the limits to see just what we can grow in these GreenStalks, both indoors and outdoors. So stay tuned for some really, I think, interesting content around vertical gardening. Well, we hope you enjoyed this update video. We've got so much food growing in here and we're just so excited to keep this process going all winter long. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give us a like, leave us a comment, remember to share and subscribe, and most importantly, remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.